Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider roster report. This is Raider Sparks coming at you here with some more talk about free agency. So, awesome day yesterday for the Raiders. I know we talked the day before about some potential targets to get, and hey, they went a different direction, but I think it was fantastic. I think the moves that they made a lot of sense. Obviously, beginning with Chandler Jones. And please, if you like the content of the show, please like, share, subscribe. I'm seeing a lot of great comments with Raider Nation. It's awesome to see what everybody's thinking out there, all the Raider fans, what you guys think. If you are a Raider YouTuber too, please leave a note, leave your channel. Definitely go subscribe, that type of thing. But yeah, exciting day, man. Obviously we started out slow in free agency. I guess this may be the Patriot way, maybe now the Raider way. But real smart moves. I don't want to give a grade yet, but definitely excited for the new team, especially Chandler Jones. I mean that was huge. Moving on from Yannick, who really didn't fit the 3-4. I mean he's in a 3-4 at the Ravens. It didn't work out very well, so you bring in a guy that truly can play in a 3-4, and not only is one of the best pass rushers in the league, but also can stop the run. So our line just got so much better. Then bring in Bly Nichols as well. I mean, just fantastic. I think that move in itself, and just welcome all the guys: Darius Phillips, Rocky Sin, Anthony Averett, Brandon Bolden, Jacob Johnson, Matt Collins. Yeah, so just a lot of good dudes. And if I missed somebody there, my apologies. I know we brought in Craven LeBlanc before, Natrell Johnson as well. So we've definitely brought some guys in, Jordan Meredith as well, that I think have a real chance at making the team. So yeah, a lot was made of connections, and we'll kind of get into that. And it's kind of part true, part not true about the connections, that type of thing. So, but definitely really excited about the new guys coming in. I know, after the trying to figure out the salary cap, after the move or after the Yannick move, we had about 18.5 million, not counting Littleton and NASA, which is about another 15 million. But we don't get that in June until June 1st or after June 1st. So I'm predicting right now we probably still have about another 10 million because obviously there was other guys signed. Matt Collins came after. Um, yeah, Matt Collins came after that. Anthony Averett, which is 4.5 million. So that right there gets us down to about 14 million. And then Brandon Bolden, Jacob Johnson, Matt Collins, those guys all signed after the Yannick trade and Rock came in. So I'm guessing with those other contracts, once they get compiled, we probably have about 10 million or so. But there's still some other guys to move on from. That's what we'll talk about. I mean, Trayvon Mullins, 2.5 million if you caught him. A league, 800,000 if you caught him. If you went after Perryman's about 3 million, Goods about 4.5 million. So there's still more to go in that regard. So if we ever did want to free up money, we certainly could. Um, and then, yeah, let's just talk about the guy that one of the reasons I want to make the video today was because of Rocky Sin. He is very, very close to being considered a number one type cornerback. And I kind of heard a lot of people out there kind of downgrading the move, maybe saying he's a 2 or even 3 or depth even. I think he's a lot more than that. I mean, and the one thing I really liked about a lot of the Raider moves, yeah, we did get a couple older players, but mainly we got guys in their prime. I mean, Darius Phillips in his prime, Rocky Sims in his prime, Anthony Averett in his prime, Matt Collins is in his prime. So all these guys are coming into those key 26, 27-year-old seasons, which on this video, if you've been listening, is something I definitely wanted us to do, is target younger guys in their prime that we can build around. Bly Nichols, all these guys are young, coming on to their second contracts, and guys that we can truly build upon. I mean, Bly Nichols we gave 9 million guaranteed 2-year deal, but Rocky Sin only has a year left, and he's at 2.5. Anthony Averett, we gave him 1-year deal for 4.5. Darius Phillips, 1.4 million. I know it goes up to around 2.5 million, but 1-year deal. So bring these guys in and see how they can compete right away. And then if you want to look at locking them up for longer term, then that's fantastic. So something to keep an eye on. But definitely something I really liked. getting some of the younger guys. And not everybody's connected with the Patriots and some of the other coaches, but some of the guys are. So it's kind of a mixture of that. But getting back to Rock Ya-Sin, last year he had 45 tackles, or I'm sorry, 45 targets in 13 games, gave up 53% completion rate with an 88 QBR, but only 9.4 yards per completion, only 4.8 yards per target, only 36 yak yards given up. So on 24 completions, so 48 targets, 20 or 45 targets, 24 completions, only 1.5 yards of yak. So that is just blanket type coverage, and that's number one type, especially for a press man or man-to-man cover guy, which is what we're ultimately going to go to. All these guys that we got, Darius, Anthony Averett, and Rock are all man-to-man press cover corner guys, and that's blanket coverage. I mean, 45 targets in 13 games, 53% completion, but only 9.4 yards per completion. 4.8 yards per target when he's targeted, 36 yak yards after a catch on 24 completions, only 36 yards after the catch, 1.45 yards. That's blanket coverage. That's good tackling skills. That's competitive toughness. That's number one. So Trayvon Mullen is not the number one quarterback on this team, and I would argue almost right now he's not. He's borderline two. I mean, he's got a strong competition for two with Anthony Averett coming up. They're both the same age, both coming into their final years of their agreement. Or Anthony Averett is a year older, but I mean, they're both have relatively the same experience. And Anthony Averett showed a heck of a lot more than Trayvon Mullen has shown us. One of the reasons Anthony Averett, I think, is brought in, so this is a connection, obviously, with the Ravens, with Rex Ryan. Or Rob Ryan, I guess. Sorry about that. But anyways, Anthony, he's got big time speed, 4.39 at the 40. But more than that, he's been up and down last season a little bit, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. He filled in for some injured guys, that type of thing. Could go in and out, mainly as an outside corner, but more than anything, actually he does both. But anything, he played against Tyreek Hill and he locked him down. And I think he only gave up one reception. So guess what? We play. That's our nemesis right there. So we have to be able to cover him. So this is a great signing just for that alone. But I think right now Trayvon might be on his way out. To be honest with you, he might give him a training camp, see how he's healthy, see how he's doing. But I mean, we got him. And if we go out and get one of the other guys, Bradbury, or if we get, obviously, we were to go out and get Bradbury or even Gilmore too, I'd still love to get either one of those guys. If we did that, Trayvon's out. And so is Amit too, because we got Darius Phillips, who can play as well and has been much more productive as a pro than Amit has been. So, and then Craven LeBlanc does have ties to the Patriots. Obviously, we still have Nate Hobbs. We're probably only going to keep 5 quarterbacks. I think one of the coaches, or it might have been McDaniel, said, hey, just give me 5 reliable, good quarterbacks. That's all we need is 5 good, reliable quarterbacks. So right now, we got Rock, we got Anthony, we got Darius, we got Nate. That leaves room for one. We bring in a big-time guy like Bradbury or Gilmore. That sets our room right there. Do you carry an extra roster spot for any of the guys? I don't know. But I really like the 3 guys we've brought in. I know a lot of people are downplaying these guys, saying they're depth. They're not. They had career years last year, and they're in the prime of their careers. So, I mean, Anthony Averett, we get $4.5 million. I'm not sure what his guaranteed money is, actually. I'm not sure if there is any guarantee or not. That's something I need to look at, actually. I'm not sure. But, 4.5 million, I'm sure there's some guarantee. Rock Ya-Sin is on the last year of his deal, but he's definitely on this team. He's a stud. And then Darius Phillips, again on the last year of his deal, paid him only 1.4, but up to 2.5, I think, in incentives. So not only did the Raiders bring in a great young talent, they got it for cheap too. So hats off to those guys. But that's sort of the rundown of the room right now. Rock, Anthony Averett, Darius. Um, yeah, we have Nate. So then you got LeBlanc, you got Amik, Trayvon, or we sign another big time guy with Bradbury or Gilmore. That would be fire. So yeah, very very interesting stuff there. What's happening with the quarterback situation? I really like it. Another guy I wanted to touch on because it's kind of under the radar is Mac Hollins. He had four touchdowns last year. I think only 11 catches. So, but a red zone guy. And the reason I wanted to bring Mac up is because 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2019, Josh McDaniels has an article out there. It's on NFL Network or NFL Online or whatever, but basically stating how he wants bigger receivers, especially on the outside. They're known for their smaller receivers like Renfro type. But definitely on the outside, he basically talks about getting bigger receivers. And if you notice the way they've drafted a lot of 6'3" and up, 6'2" and up type receivers. And Mac fits that mold of 6'4", and so I think it's interesting. We went out and targeted him. Obviously, we were heavily talked about with G.J. Chark, who's 6'4", Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's like 6'3", 6'4". So definitely there was a need to get one of those taller type receivers, and so I just wanted to point that out, especially if we set up our draft targets. Guys that I've been targeting in the draft, Samori Torrey, 6'3". I had him as one of my boom players that you can get probably late in the draft from maybe UDFA out of Nebraska. But then you look at the top of the draft: Traylon Burks, George Pickens, Drake London, and they obviously met with at the combine. They met with Traylon, but they also met with Justin Ross, who's 6'4". So some guys just to keep an eye on. Some other guys: Malika Carter, Kevin Austin, Devin Williams. I think is a sneaky one out of Oregon, 6'5". I really like him. Makai Polk, again, 6'3", another big receiver. Dejeen Dixon, I really like. And then, of course, Christian Watson, who could be there in the second or third round, or maybe third round to target. Second might be a little early, but credible athlete, right? We've all talked about him. So Isaiah Weston, who guys I've been noticing on my comments, really like him. His upside is huge with his small school guy, but huge upside with his athleticism. A lot of you guys like Alec Pierce. I had him as one of my potential bust players, but I know a lot of you guys like him. But yeah, my potential boom players are definitely on here with Kevin Austin, Malik Polk is on here, Devin Williams is on here. All these guys, Justin Ross, all have big time potential. And don't kill me in the comment section for Alec Pierce. I know a lot of you guys like him. I just, did some calculation. I'm not really sure. I need to see his pro day first and foremost. So, anyways, just wanted to kind of cover that. Another guy that's flying under the radar is a signing for us with Jordan Meredith, a guard. I know we all keep saying we want interior line, and I agree. In the comment section, I think my comment section had it exactly right. Right tackle, wide receiver, linebacker, left guard, and more D tackles is spot on. But Jordan Meredith fits the mold of a Patriots or now Raiders lineman. He's 6'3", which is actually the number that they look for, 6'3", and right at the 295 to 310, and he's like 303 and from the Rams. So don't sleep on Jordan Meredith making the squad either. If we're looking at an overall roster for the Raiders, don't sleep on that by any means. So keep an eye out for that. Just some things I wanted to sort of highlight, but really like how the Raiders are going. I agree. We definitely still need the right tackle. I know Darrell Williams is getting a lot of buzz in the comment section. Him or Lyle Collins, both are Cowboys. Both would be great. As far as linebackers go, Van Der Esch is getting a lot of talk. Van Noy, I think, is a very high probability. I know a lot of Raider Nation like Kaiser White. So do I. I'd love to get him. As far as D tackles go, Calais Campbell would be another great guy to bring in. I still hoping the Honey Badger. I mean, there's a lot of things that can still happen with the Raiders. There's still some more cap space we can clear up. I kind of mentioned a few. Perryman at 3.5, Good at 4.5, Trayvon at 2.5, Amik, and there's a bunch of other guys around $1 million that could get cut to free up space. So all is not lost, and of course we still have the Carr contract out there and the Renfro contract out there. So there's still some other opportunities to save some dollars. Oh, and the Waller contract as well. So still plenty of potential to save money if we still want to keep going big. I'm glad it's not a rebuild. That's encouraging. Our running back room seems to be set. I mean, Brandon Bolden, Jacob Johnson coming in. Oh, that's another guy, Sutton Smith, we can cut. I think that's about another $2 million. So definitely some guys, some room still. If we wanted to bring in another big name in the secondary, Honey Badger would be great. I mean, that would cap off the secondary. I mean, you get Honey Badger, you get Bradbury, or you get Gilmore. One of those three guys, our secondary would be freaking money. I would love it. So those are all looking good. Linebacker need help. D tackles, we definitely need help. Definitely see us in the draft with Jordan Davis or Wyatt, one of those guys. And we're looking right now more and more. It's looking like a right tackle or defensive tackle is going to be our first round pick. Although I think wide receiver is still very, very high on the list too. So we still have three major needs, and linebacker as well as a big time need. I don't have guard as high as a lot of other people in the Raider Nation, but my top four are right tackle, receiver, linebacker. I guess my top three is those three. Yeah, those are definitely. Oh, and defensive tackle. So yeah, those are my top four. Would be where I go in the draft. And we're in a great spot. We're getting to a position where we don't have to necessarily draft the best player at a critical need. We're you know, uh, getting some of these needs filled out, so we can go for maybe best player instead of just have to be so much focus on a certain need. So hopefully we can address with a veteran the right tackle. I think that's important. I don't want to see us really start with a right tackle. I mean, if we went first round wide receiver, I have no problem with that at all. I still think we do need another receiver for sure. Um, Mac Hollins is a nice signing, but he's a depth guy. Maybe a potential low end number two, high end type number three guy, red zone target for sure. Brian Edwards might be somewhat nervous because he's supposed to be that red zone target, and that wasn't really uh, coming to fruition. But I don't think you're going to give up on Brian Edwards, but may push him down the depth chart a little bit. But we still need a strong Z type receiver. We still need a strong X type receiver, and so hopefully we make some more moves in the on the offensive side. Went pretty heavy on defense, which I like. But anyways, so that's all I got today. Just want to kind of give my thoughts and opinions on what's happening with Raider Nation. Oh, and there is one other guy that I think could be looked at. Um, Trey Herndon out of Jacksonville. The last couple of years, he's led the team in bonus money for his play on the field and for his games played and that type of thing. And obviously, we have the connection to Jacksonville. It's interesting, the connections. I mean, Chandler Jones definitely had a connection to New England, so that was obvious. Nichols had a connection with the Bears. Phillips, not as much with Cincinnati, but obviously the Bears played Cincinnati quite a bit. Rock Ya-Sin, not as much connection there. Anthony Averett, though, with Baltimore has that connection. Obviously, Bolden and Johnson are Patriots. Matt Collins, maybe I didn't notice a connection there right away. I'm not sure if any of our coaches for with Miami, but definitely the AFC East. I mean, if you think of it that way, they definitely saw a lot of Matt Collins in the AFC East. So, um, yeah, something to kind of consider there. And I think I got all the free agents. Who knows? There might have been somebody else signed by the time we've been speaking. Craven LeBlanc, obviously, connection with the Patriots, but that was on previous signings. So definitely there's some stuff going on there. But yeah, I like the way the roster's shaping up. I hope for more stuff coming out today. And maybe we can address a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball, especially the right tackle or the receiver's position. If we got a guard, I'd be great. I would be really happy with it. I think there's some guards out there to target. Not as many now. A lot of the Patriots guys kind of got snagged up, but some right tackles too. I've been on record saying Marcus Cannon or Nate Solder coming in, but a lot of guys like the guys. A lot of people in the chat like the guys from the Cowboys, which is cool. Especially Jerry Williams, Lyle Collins. I've no problem with either one of those guys coming in and join the ranks with the Raiders, filling that right tackle position, so we can concentrate on some other spots as well. But nonetheless, yeah. So that's all I got for you, Raider Nation. Let me know your thoughts, opinions. Let's watch for another big day today for Raider Nation. Hopefully, we get some more of the squad put together. Definitely looking forward to seeing the salary cap update if anybody has any thoughts and opinions on that, shoot, we took a huge hit. It was like 26.5 million with Littleton, Kowalski, and Hobbs, obviously, or not Hobbs, but Nazem over the next 2 years. But we definitely saved a lot of money this year at about 11.5 million. So, or about 15 million. I'm sorry, and that should come off June 1st. And so I would look for some of the extensions maybe until that happens, like Renfro or Carr. Maybe we're waiting for that, or maybe one of the big time signings. We wait for that money to free up and just basically give it to another big time player, especially in the secondary, like a Gilmore or Bradbury. Or the Bradbury deal probably would want to be done sooner than the draft because they'd want the draft pick. But even Honey Badger as well. So, anyways, that's all I got, Raider Nation. I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts. Please subscribe. Please share the channel. We want to keep growing this thing. And hey, have a great day. Thanks a lot.